Hi, this is Michael Stevenson, president of Transform Destiny, the top NLP training company in North America, and I'm here with our lead trainer and our director of trainings, Ryan Simmons.
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So Ryan's been with us the longest out of anybody on the training team, and as we have grown into our mission, which is to transform the planet one person at a time, I've really had to take on different roles. Because as the company continues to grow and continues to help more and more people, there's only so much one person could do. So this, originally started off as a training company with me, and then it was me and Kayla, and then as we've grown, my role has sort of ascended up to being more of the CEO, and Ryan took over the training team in 2017 and has really developed it from where it was then, which was just 2 trainers, to where we are now, and continuing to grow. And we're currently in 26 cities all over North America. We've done trainings in 4 different countries, and it's just so amazing to see the care that you have taken in making sure that our new trainers are being brought up to speed, that everybody's teaching things the correct way, but also expressing their own personalities in the training.
Yeah.
And it's just been wild. So, a lot of people, when they come into NLP, they're very intentional about it. They're like, I know I want to learn NLP, and they come and buy the trainings. For some others, the journey into NLP is a little more of like a rabbit hole kind of a journey, like one rabbit hole leads to another. And so tell us about what got you into NLP. Why did you want to learn all this?
Well, when I think about it, there's several different rabbit holes that I was going down. I wanted to learn these language patterns that this guy on TV was doing. I really love the show The Mentalist, so that was of high interest. I wanted to kind of learn some magic, but then there was mentalism, and then, I thought, if I can learn these patterns or these language things, then I could, basically kind of fix some people out into the world, right? I can fix them, and then my life would be better. And it was, learning or going to practitioner training when I finally realized that it wasn't about other people that were, not trying to get at me. It was really me. And once I was able to let that go, I definitely wanted to use these patterns to fix, people, and then I realized that it was about fixing myself.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I was able to let go of what was plaguing me for many, many years, and I'm really grateful for being able to learn this technology. I like using that word, right?
Yeah.
This technology, very, very cool.
Yeah. So what was your journey? How did you first find out about NLP? And
Yeah, so interesting story, right? I was a karaoke host for a very long time, and another fellow KJ, he was doing a training in hypnosis, and this was many years ago. So he asked me to be a part of his first hypnosis training. And I effectively went to the class, got this certificate from this company named Transform Destiny, and you weren't
really seeking out hypnotherapy training, or
no, yeah,
it was just like an opportunity where a friend was like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. It's kind of a test run. Do you want to come?"
Yeah, yeah. And it was cool. And my favorite part after the class I would go to where I would do karaoke, and I would tell people, I can hypnotize you. Right? So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Then many years later, when I was going down these rabbit holes, that's when the Transform Destiny popped up again. And it's, you never know about, people, right? And I mean that about myself, because when I, went to the webinar and watched it, and Michael said that he got married in Costa Rica, boom, it just fired off inside of me, because I'd already been to Costa Rica 3 times. Yeah. I'd spent 3 months in Costa Rica, so it was really meaningful to me. And as soon as he said that, I could feel it, like, this is the right place to go, And so that's, webinars.
I love it. So what's it been like for you? You are in many ways now kind of ascending in your role the way that I've had to ascend.
Yeah.
As we really, make strides on our mission. The whole mission is to help more people. In order to do that, we have to have more people on the team and grow the team. So what's been for you your role of moving into lead trainer, now director of trainings? How's that been for you?
The responsibility factor has been interesting. It's, when I worked karaoke, it was all about me. I didn't have to worry about anybody else. All I really had to do was show up,
right.
And now having, to work with the team, getting the opportunity to work with the team has made me think outside of the box or think outside of myself, right? And so John Maxwell, keeps going through my mind, and like knowing that leadership is important and being able to grow in that, and the phrase goes, when you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want, right? So as of late, I've been continuing to remind myself of that, so I can just be available to the trainers, so that they can get what they need, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I love it. One of the things that for me that really appealed to me when I was in NLP trainings, was this whole idea of the ripple effect. If you want to change the planet, if you want to change the world and people in the world, there's 7.5 billion people in the world, 7.7 billion or whatever it is now. I can't talk to all 7.7 billion people. But the idea that if I want to transform the world, I can be the pebble that gets dropped in the pond, and the pebble creates ripples, right? And so for a long time for me, when it was just my company, Transform Destiny, I would train people, and then I would train trainers, and the trainers would go out and be the ripple. But now that ripple exists inside the company, right? There's elements of me and you, there's elements of you and all the new trainers, and that ripple effect is now continuing to move from internally then externally. And it gives me goosebumps to talk about that. But so, one of the things I love about Transform Destiny, and I've talked about this with the other trainers, is, normally when somebody becomes certified as an NLP trainer, they open up their own shop, they do their own trainings, and it's like, that's the person you train with. And, sometimes even they become a little bit of a celebrity. People are like, oh, I'm gonna go train with that one person. But there's also the kind of one-dimensionality of that, and one of the things I love about Transform Destiny is we've grown is that, we have multiple trainers, and every trainer, while we're teaching something that's standards-based, and the NLP doesn't change, the script is the script is the script, but what's different is the trainer, and the trainer's own background and their own stories and their own philosophy that sort of flavors each training. And that's one of the things I love about Transform Destiny, is that we do have so many different personalities. So in terms of that, tell us what is different about you that you bring to the trainings versus the other trainers on the team.
What's different about me? Well, one thing is I love to have fun, right? I love to have fun, and I love these tools that I've learned and teaching it to other people. But I do like to, be straightforward and serious also when it's time. So I don't think I do it consciously, I do it unconsciously, but to provide that balance of, let's work, and now let's make it light, then let's work again, let's make it light. And for me, it's easier for me to go through a class like that than just like, all right, like my English teacher, right? You remember English, 7th grade English? You're like, oh, I hate going to that class, right? But then there was the other teacher who was always really cool. He let you come in and sit during lunch. We had the Bonanza Club when
that was
when
Mr.
I was in high
Taylor
school.
for me. He was the best teacher ever.
So maybe having that happy balance between the necessity, but also the necessity, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it's interesting because a lot of people, when they come into the field, like they know they want to be a trainer, and that's kind of like the bullseye they're aiming for. For you, I know in the beginning you were just kind of trying to come in and learn new stuff. And didn't really have a direction or an aim to it. So what was it like for you as a student? Now that you're way on the other side of that, going back to being there, sitting there as a student in the class.
When I came back to take my official first class, it was magical. In a sense, it was core coaching, right? Core just March of, a few years ago. I just thought, this can't be real. Like all of a sudden, all these things that I've been thinking or hearing about as far as NLP and these language patterns, it's like it was becoming real. Like you said, I didn't know I was going to be a trainer specifically. All I did know was I just need to take as many classes as I possibly could, right?
Well, let's talk about this. So, when people come through the classes, a lot of times they're there, maybe not for the intention of being a trainer, but they know they want to go out and be a practitioner. And so they're there to learn how to do things to other people. You took the time to work on yourself. So talk a little bit about that. And the that's something that a lot of people don't really talk about when it comes to these certification trainings. It's all about earning the certification and being professional with it. But what are the effect of the classes in your own life?
Well, I'll give you a little story. So back when I was in 7th grade, something happened to me. I had somebody who I thought was my friend, who no longer was my friend.
Yeah.
And so basically during the summer we were friends, but when school started, we weren't friends anymore, and I didn't quite understand that. Looking back on it, the dynamic was I was in 7th grade, he was in 9th grade, right? So this guy who, I was a peer with during the summer is no longer a peer. And I would have this feeling every now and then just come up over the years. Now remember, this is 7th grade, right? I would have this feeling come up, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put a finger on it. All I know is just I would think about it, I would see the experience in my mind's eye, and then I just kind of feel sad or hurt, I guess. But I didn't know what the word was. It wasn't until it was time techniques. I had learned time techniques at the practitioner training. And I remember saying, oh, there's that feeling again. And I said, let me put this to the test, right? Let me put this to the test because it came up. And I started to think about that experience, and I said, oh my God, he hurt my feelings. And once I felt that, once I understood what the emotion was, I was like, now I can release it.
Right.
And when I just did that event itself, I literally felt emotion leave my body. It was almost as if it just right out of my core. And it was such a visceral experience that I could no longer deny anything that I had been learning.
Wow.
And it was absolutely amazing. And so,
I love it.
yeah.
I think that's one of the things that makes us a little different as an NLP training company, is that many other NLP training companies, they are teaching NLP as a do to others sort of a technology. Whereas, one of the things I believe is that if you want to transform other people's lives, you should transform your life as well. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to have transformed your life. You should be in the process of doing it. Because I really believe that the essence of transformation work is leadership. Leadership means you're at the front of the pack. You're showing people how it's done by doing it yourself. And I think that's how you started. That's how I got into this field, was I just wanted to fix myself and understand myself. And then that led me to, man, I'd love to do this with other people.
Right. It's an amazing journey. And being able to work for Transform Destiny has been probably the one thing that made the most difference in, just who I am as a person. There was one event that you had done, that Transform Destiny did in Philadelphia, right? And I was like, man, I want to go to that event, and I could be on the crew, and I didn't go. I didn't end up going, and I was so kind of bummed out about that. But later on, as the world turns, as the world would have it, here I am going to Philadelphia, multiple times a year, and Atlanta, and Chicago, and Dallas, and even LA where I live. It's remarkable. I used to have, I don't know if I told you this, but this came up maybe about a week or so ago. I remember being in high school saying something like, if I just lived in a hotel room, I would only need so much stuff, right? This is in high school, right? And so I remember writing a list out on what a hotel room would have. It would have like a bed, it would have a TV, it would have a desk, it would have a lamp. I was like, I don't really need anything else. And what would that just be if I just went to different hotels and lived? And that came up, so I thought that was kind of cool.
And that's practically what you're doing now.
Practically what I'm doing right now.
In California. But, Well, thank you for taking some time to talk with me today. And of course, Ryan Simmons, lead trainer, he is part of the trainings, and we're doing trainings in 26 cities all over the US and expanding that as well. And so he will be at many of the trainings out there, so look for him on the schedule.
Yeah,